Be a fun story. Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 23rd. We're in the Water Committee today. Present are Councilman Clent and Councilman Schuyler, along with Water Superintendent Mark Liebrecht. Appointed officials, Troy Kruger, Public Works Director, City Attorney Paul Jensen, and Finance Officer Chandra Phillips. Have financials in front of us and another interesting report. Go ahead, Troy.
I'm going to start with water because water is going to be the most colorful today. So we did quotes about a month ago for our annual well inspection rehab. Downey Drilling is the one Mark chose, and they did send us a letter that needs a signature on it. It's a letter of intent to do the work. So I just want to make sure,
Send it to me.
bring that to Paul, and then, oh,
I'll copy it and get it back to you. How's that? Yeah.
okay, next in water. So since the installation of our new meters, we have all these new capabilities with them. I should say old capabilities, but we can use the capabilities now. One thing that's come to our attention is, and Mark's been very diligent about it, is when we log on to our analytical in the mornings, it's got an alert built into that programming of the Census Analytical, and so Mark goes through the alerts, and it'll alert us on multiple different things. But one of the things that we've been trying to look at every morning is if we have a customer that is, if it's flagging that account for high water usage. And we've had multiple accounts. Mark's contacted those people, and in a couple of instances we've contacted those people and they've done nothing about it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to, I asked Chandra if she'd come up with a form, and she did that for us, and it's the form that you have in front of you. And it's basically for our purposes and for council's purposes. So if we have somebody that is, they've known, and we have a couple out there that are going to be very high usage, and it's going to, they'll be getting billed for those here. One is going to be over 100,000 gallons a month, and it's going to be a pretty substantial bill. So this will be for council's information. If those people choose to come to council and ask for forgiveness on that account, they've been, we've made the contact, the office knows about it, and this can go in a file so that we know that we've tried to use our.
So that one that you said is going to be huge, that's a known leak they're not fixing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's on their side.
It's after the meter, yes. So it's after the meter. We know it. We've contacted them 2 or 3 times. And if they want, if that's their option. If they want to, just ignore it and pay the bill, that's fine. But we've had this over the years where people have come in and they've argued their accounts, and we now have the ability to see that. So hopefully the process will be that we can warn them. They'll bring it to their attention, and they'll get it fixed before they get billed for that. But if they choose to ignore it, and then they want to come in and dispute the bill, that's what this is for. Just for the offices, and that's, we have the same thing on the electric side. People say the meter's not reading correctly, blah blah blah. They call up to dispute their bill, and we can print out a report that shows their exact usage. So, water, on the current to date, we have all of our pretty much all of our materials for our projects bought this year. You know, Mark's in the process of bidding out things. Don't see anything that's jumping out at me on the revenues are gonna change a lot here in the next couple months. We've identified, how many new heads did we put in? We purchased 500. We put in about 300.
500, we only have a few left, so we put in almost 500 units.
Okay.
We had to over more.
So that's a pretty good indicator of how many accounts that we're not reading. So I'm expecting our water revenues to look a lot different here in a couple months. So that's good that we're back on track. For 2025, the water will look quite a bit different. We will pay off the backhoe, that's $71,000. We will not, I think Mark and I budgeted a little bit for meters, but this year we,
Unknown caller.
Where are you in your meter disbursement?
Right now, everything south of First Street is done. So we just have the two trailer courts.
South of First Street.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Really?
You guys just shop over there. Just off.
Excellent.
Good work.
Hopefully, I think Troy is gonna get pretty close by the end of the month.
yeah, I'll have wagon wheel done today, and then I'll move over to, and there's only like 8 or 9 accounts out in the West Haven, so that won't take any time at all.
Brandon's been doing a great job getting us into places. We really appreciate that.
Good to hear that. That collaboration,
Yeah.
that is awesome. So once these are in, we still have the readers, we have to go back and,
No,
That's what they're installing.
the radios,
The
right?
radio's installed, the microphone, the meter heads are changed out, as Randy can get us in there. Right now, we are waiting for engineers. We're waiting for engineers and junior engineers to come in right now.
That's awesome.
We probably got 20 of those that we're waiting on. Some heads, some readers, you know.
yeah, right now I'm going ahead and installing radios, and then these guys come behind, and then they program them. It doesn't matter what, the process kind of goes is so, and I know the public has asked a couple times why we're doing what we're doing, but, so we're putting up an actual radio, which is a brand-new piece of equipment, so we have to get that installed, and then we have to bring the wires to that radio. And then after that is done, and that's just a simple process of, we have to take the old wires out of the old gateway, put them in the, bring them to the new radio. But then there's still, they have to go to that radio when the wires are hooked up, and then we can program the meter head. And so we're changing everything in the city except for, well, some 2-inch meters, we can only go down to 10 gallon per minute, but all residential is 1 gallon per minute now. So we're reprogramming every radio to 1 gallon per minute. So we have, even if their water meter's reading correctly, everything's normal, we switch that radio out, we still have to reprogram the head so that we're getting it down to a 1 gallon per minute reading.
That's a trip, right? Like,
Yeah.
1 gallon trip.
So,
Where were we now? Currently, 100 or 1,000?
Depends on which place.
the late, this, about half of that process, when I came to the city, we switched that to as low as we could get it at that point, which was 100 gallons per minute. But since that time, they actually have it down to less. I mean, 1 gallon per minute is plenty accurate. I mean, we don't need to be any more accurate than 1 gallon a minute, but they do have the capabilities to go less than that now. And basically that's for leak detection. On some accounts you can go lower than that, but that does change, and that brings up a few questions that we've talked about, is how we bill Are we going to change our billing, how we bill our water? Because it's a lot different picture now. When you're billing down to 1 gallon per minute, I don't see a need to do it. I mean, I think the way we do it is plenty good, but we do have that capability now. And so,
To some other cities, and we just haven't chatted, so sorry. There's other cities who have that capability of the gallon trip, and they still do it by the thousands. It's just
Yeah.
easier that way. The only thing we'll have to verify on our end, on the billing, is if it says 1,459, is it rounding down or is it rounding up? So we'll have to keep an eye on that on our end.
so yeah, I mean, it's very much more accurate. But we are, no matter what, we are recalibrating every meter head, so they will all be the same now. There's no difference. Every account will be a 1 gallon unless it's a larger size commercial meter. And I think even our 2 gallons are 2 inchers. I think they're 10 gallon. And then some of the 3 inch and above, the lowest you can go on those is like 100. So, and it's just because of the amount of water, so.
We do have radios.
Just if you,
I'm starting my 9th year, and you've been here longer than I have. This might be the first time that we are not working on changing meters
Yeah, I
in
think so.
10 years. It's crazy.
but these guys, Matt and Rick and Ed have really been after this. They've been getting it hard. Joey joined in.
Troy's only been helping for the last 2 weeks.
Yep, I said that's, those two doing it very well.
So it does, with this project being behind us, that does change Mark's budget for next year. I mean, it does look a little different. 70,000 for meter heads. By the time we're done with this project, we should, we have a surplus of actual meter heads right now that we're gonna, Mark will do an inventory once we're done with the project and kind of see where we're at. We do have an option to return some of those, but, we'll see where we're at the end of the project. I don't think that, we're definitely not out of the woods yet on the current meter heads. The batteries are still gonna show significant, they've been drained, with this current system, so we'll probably keep a fair number of those heads on hand just so that, because he gets an alert now on his computer when the batteries get into his, I think when it gets down to 80% dead or, 80% use, then it flags it, so we can get in there and swap that out right away. There's no more guessing, we know instantly, so we always have an active reading meter in everyone's account.
What's life expectancy of a meter?
20 years,
20 years.
yep.
Radios 20 also.
The radios are also battery operated. It's a 20-year radio, it's a 20-year meter head, so. And the Census Analytical, the program itself lets you know either way if the head's getting dead or the battery, or the radio's going dead, so there's, you can get in and get it changed out. We'll always have an active meter. Any questions on water?
Let me drop back. I looked at this proposal, Mark, just one question. I assume we had how many? Do you get 3 quotes or how many?
Well, at the time that I brought it in, we had 2 quotes,
2?
then one showed up a week later.
Okay, and this is the one you
And
selected?
that's the best one out of the 3.
That's
Okay.
the one that council approved.
Oh, did council already approve this?
Yeah.
Committee.
Okay, okay.
No.
Then I have no problem with that. This is ready, and Jody, I think they just need a signature. Since council's approved it, you can accept
Council
that.
has not approved it.
Committee did.
Committee did, Paul.
The committee, there you go. That's why I was scratching my
I
head.
did too, I really did.
I don't know about council, but I know we did in committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
for
reason-
10,000 some odd dollars, so we need to have council approve it from the standpoint of accepting it. and then they can get going.
Well, he needs a signature, so that's why I brought it up. just
Right,
So we,
right.
if it's gonna be signed,
It's got to go through full council
Gotta
on
go
Monday
through
night,
council, and then we get it signed.
on the 6th.
That's my bad. When they handed it to me at your committee, I came in enough late enough, so I apologize. I didn't put it on the agenda last week because I didn't realize it was an agreement. I just thought it was a three-quarters, so.
Well, we can say it's been through committee now, here again, and then take it to council, next council meeting.
New business,
Yeah,
it'll need a different signature.
it will.
That'll be on.
You're right.
Yes, I have it in my packet to put in.
Yep. But we'll get it on new business.
Yeah.
We'll set that, and then that'll be one of the items taken
Yep.
care of
Yep,
after all the other things happen. The pump.
yep. I'll just make a copy of this.
If you're still good with
I'll
that.
get it back to you.
You're still good?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Any way we can, no way to expedite it.
No. It's got to go through full council. It's not worth calling a full council meeting.
No.
Just wait and push it through on the 6th. Let them know it's coming, Mark. Just be honest with them. If they're wanting it back anytime sooner, just tell them,
Well, usually they come April, May,
Yeah.
so this
So
year
we're gonna be
we'll-
down 2 wells for the summer.
It'll be signed before that,
It'll be signed May 6th.
yeah.
I'll let them know.
okay.
Good.
Maybe they can get in shortly after that.
The formality, just tell them the process.
in the past, we've usually just done it on a, yeah, you get the job.
Yeah.
But he hasn't required a signature for the, I don't recall ever signing anything. This
I don't recall
he
it.
could,
This
he
first
could
time
come
that he's-
start on it tomorrow if he didn't need a signature.
If you didn't need a signature, you could get going, yeah.
Oh, you can make that phone call if you want.
If they require the
I
signature,
I
they'll
mean,
have to wait,
if you wanted to try to speed it up, but
yeah.
on a signature, that's what we have to do.
Okay,
Any other questions on water?
Anything else, man?
Mark and I did go through his, we kind of projected numbers for 2025.
Remind me the next time, for some reason your 2025 budgets aren't fully printing. I saw that yesterday on your streets and sanitation, cutting it off halfway through. So they're missing like,
Oh, that's just because I'm just doing one page.
oh,
I'm just consolidating it down to one page. It's just the expense side.
yeah,
With-
but like half your expenses are missing on this report.
Oh, it's just this stuff that's like, payments and things like that, like the equipment and, loans. Well, he also has pool. Pool doesn't change much. The only thing we changed in pool was we added the 3.4% for personnel. But otherwise that, the budget looks, pretty similar. Water, he's got, that loan for the chlorine building, that'll be down to 190, well, right now it's $191,500, so, but that's, I think it's payoff in 2027. His personal services would go up to $292,609, and his expenses would be $192,587 from what we projected, which is quite a bit lower than last year. So you should see an increase in revenues in water, and you should see a decrease in expenses in water.
When do you think we can get an accurate projection for revenue?
You have it.
790,000 is what Jody and Shander projected.
We went low because we didn't know when the meters were gonna be installed for sure. We knew we had a target date, but we went conservative. So 2 months after the installation of the meters and the radios, you will see the first accurate readings. And if that happens at the end of this month, you might be able to see some right around August. And if Chandra would like to go back and take a look and revisit, yes. If not, I would go with the original projection.
'Cause we don't know what this summer, it's gonna be the first watering season too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about it is you'll have the luxury of, that will go to unappropriated if you don't spend it. And then that will cover some of the cost of, we've got a Vector truck. We're hoping, for sure, that's coming. And then there were some hopes on some other payments to get some stuff done. You'll have that luxury. So, and then next year, come back and budget it, pinpoint, based off the numbers from August through December. You'll have that 4-month history, and some summer months, some shoulder months, and you should be able to get pretty tight.
You guys asked the question 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about it briefly right before the meeting started, but about the clean water building. The clean water building is out of sewer, and the chlorine is out of water, correct?
The water's chlorine, the chlorine building up by the blue tank, that's the one that we can pay off.
Yes.
That one.
No, that's not the one we can pay off. The clean water is the one we can do. The chlorine is not till 2040. It's the clean water is the one that's up in 2027, out of sewer.
Well, in water, you have an SRF loan, and then you have that loan for
Where's
the,
the clean
for
water
the
building?
chlorine building. The total loan amount for the two is $191,500. So what I was saying is it would be easy to pay those two loans off, if you can pay them off early. I don't know if you can pay them off
So
early.
that's what I was getting at. I did reach out to rural development. Neither one of these hurt us on our constitutional debt because we have the surcharges for them, so they don't count against our constitutional debt, and they have very low interest on them. But yes, we can pay them off if that is what city council as a whole chooses to do with a resolution, and it doesn't hurt us on any future loans.
I thought we figured this out, Mark. We looked at those and the interest, and it was over, if we let them go their full length, it was gonna cost us like around $20,000.
Over the whole period.
Yeah, if we let them, if they go out their full
Yeah.
terms. But it's not a large amount. It's $200,000.
Split it up that many years, that's a very small amount per
Yeah.
year.
But like Jody said, and this is what I think we're in really good shape in water because we've projected our revenues low. Our expenses are going to be less than they were last year. So if whatever we don't, if we our revenues are obviously going to go over what's projected. So that money will, at the end of the year, will just go back to cash on hand in that department anyways, so we're not hurt either way. It's a good outlook for water for 2025. Sewer, not so good.
How much is that surcharge right now?
Justin was looking at
$1.30.
per month.
$1.30. So when that loan pays off, that goes off?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's another good thing to maybe talk about a little bit. I get the question a lot, what are we gonna do with that transmission line? What are we gonna do with that transmission line? This probably would be a good time, because for the first time in 8 or 9 years, we're gonna know what our revenues are. So this would be a really good time to maybe start laying a little money away for that project.
You'll have it. That's a great idea, Troy.
Can
No.
we bury the line? Or is it gonna have to be outsourced?
There's a pretty good, I've heard a couple different scenarios.
None of them are good.
Well, realistically, the one that's done over 10 years where you just do a section, there's like, what, 9 sections out there?
There's seven pits.
So 8
Well,
sections.
no, there's
Or
the
9.
the pits with the air relief valves in them.
Yeah.
Is there 7 or 9?
I think there's 9 of them.
Okay, so there's 9 air relief, so that line stretches, and the one we're referencing to is the big one. It's 36-inch AC water main that runs from, it's where Helen Turnquist lives, right there, her driveway.
16.
That's where the 2 fields come together, and there's a T there, and then it transitions into a 36-inch water main that runs all the way to Winter. And that is the one that all of our engineers that we've had over the years, they've all brought that project up multiple times, and they're all like, you guys gotta address this, you gotta address this. So I'm not in agreement with what they're saying. They wanna go in and they wanna replace that line as it is, you know, same size, same everything. So much has changed over the years. We have SCADA. We have the ability to turn wells turn on and off by the, just by the tank levels. We do not need a 36-inch line out there. That's overkill. Huh?
We only have 16
16.
inch line out.
Oh, coming in from
It can't be
town.
36.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
is it?
16, and you were talking about going to a 10.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, yeah,
Yes.
that's,
That's what our conversation
Yeah.
between you and I was, 16 to a
I
10.
think 10.
So we're talking about going, and my thought process was, is just do so much every year, cap it off, and then it would be more of a, you could probably handle the payments without having to borrow money doing it that way, but it would take a lot of, we'd have to do a lot of research to, but
would you have, would it matter which end you started at when you're going from a 16 down to a 10?
you'd want to start in town and work out.
That's what I was wondering, okay, yeah.
What is that, 9 miles, 10 miles,
7.
7?
7 to the Botany corner. Once you get out there and have that T going east, it's gonna be, what is that, 8 or 10-inch PVC.
There's 8-inch.
Going into our well field. Going the other way into Turnquist Field is AC pipe,
Yeah.
going all the way to Novotny 1. up there.
Which,
PVC going from Novotny 1 to Novotny, or McCabe 1 to McCabe.
When was this
We'd have
put
to
in?
replace that. The one-
Decades ago.
Yeah, in the 70s is when they got into the McCabe field, wasn't it? Like 70?
I think that's right. I was gonna say 77, something in there is what I recall being on there, on those maps.
5 years out, or 45 years ago.
The guys got PVC to the Turnquist corner there, coming off of our well field.
of which, that, all that pipe that's in the ground out there, I mean, you're talking probably with both well fields and then that 7-mile stretch, you're probably talking over 10 miles of pipe in the ground. Since I've been in we've had zero leaks. I don't know, I mean, you had to do one, didn't you? On the 16?
We did one there, one of the collars on the T where they come together, cracked. So we had to drain it, fix it. I've been on that other one, PVC pipe going east out of there 3-4 times. It's old glued. They weren't gasketed joints, so we've been out there a few times.
So it's not been like a maintenance issue or anything like that?
No, the AC's been actually pretty good.
But this would be the time. In the next year, you'll be able to see what your water revenues are doing and to start laying some money away for that project, because eventually it's gonna have to be done. And it's gonna be, we can come up with the best, most
Affordable.
economical way to do it. That's neither here nor there. I mean, we'll figure that out in the future, but right now would be a good time to start laying some money away for that.
This is all replacing rather than lining, so to speak, right?
Oh, correct. It's water main, so,
Yeah.
they have not come up with the technology yet
I
to,
wasn't sure, I just thought you at one time had talked about something that lined it or went through
Put a new
the,
pipe in, a smaller pipe in.
yeah.
Yeah, at one time we talked about just shoving a pipe in a pipe.
Right.
The problem with that is, if you ever do have a leak, you could end up tearing out a lot of pipe to find that one leak, so.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense to put new pipe in.
Sure.
Just abandon the old one.
Yep.
But like I said, we definitely don't need 16-inch. Probably 10 would be plenty big. You can pump, if we have every well running out in the well field, the most that we can push to town right now with our current system is probably about 2,500 gallons a minute. That's maxed out. That's the most we can pump. And you can easily pump 2,500 gallons through a 10-inch water main. So we most of the time, the way our system is set up, like this time of the year, we rarely have more, we never have more than 2 wells running. We'll have one kick on, one will kick on and pump about 300 gallon a minute, and then another one will kick on, and like the highest flow reading I've seen all winter doing checks is 600 gallons a minute. That's the way the system's set up now. It's just, it's just it's a way better system, so it's not, I don't even know, it wasn't that long ago, there was a guy living out in the well fields in a house. That was his job.
To go flip the switch?
He would get up every morning and go turn the wells on, and then every night at the same time, he would shut the wells off, so we've come a long ways. Sewer.
Your sewer's not as bad as you think it is. It's coming.
It's not, but we did not do a sewer reline project this year.
Great.
And the reason that we chose not, that this was discussed during last year's budgeting season, but we've been having a lot of problems getting somebody to bid our projects because nobody wants to bid a $200,000-300,000 sewer reline.
$100,000.
Yeah, we were
That's
doing
what-
like
110. Yeah.
So we thought it would be better to skip a year and make the project a little, twice the size, make it more lucrative for somebody to bid on it. Since that time,
Your sewers are exploding?
well, we were approached by Bros Engineering, and they do that community deal because everyone is switching now to relining sewer mains. Hardly anybody's replacing them. Everybody's going to relining because it's just so much cheaper. They've come up with their community deal, and they go around and they get quantities from all just like we're doing with our chip seal deal. So that might make, bidding relining in the future a lot better. But for next year, we're looking at, $300,000 out of sewer. That's to do it twice the size of project that we did last year. That's going to be a pretty tough pill for sewer to swallow. So, let's see what we're projected to make in sewer.
The money that you didn't spend on relining last year, council chose to take from sewer and put into the general fund as well. Make the general fund balance. You can leave that money in sewer for future years, and by the time you pay for the Vector truck, you'll have just a little over 200,000 in cash available.
I think sewer was like 470,000 for next year.
Once the Vector truck was paid off, it was gonna be 200, just a little over 200.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking, this is just a suggestion, me outgoing. I'd take another break on this year, let your revenues get balanced, and then take a look at 2026. Your sewer revenues will be reflective also of the new metering system. And then at that point, you'll have an opportunity to come back with that bigger project in the 26 budget. And I don't think it hurts you at that point, if you can keep them together for that 1 year.
Well, we were gonna pay for the Vector truck with cash on hand, look with the,
Correct, and that's what I'm talking about, is
Yeah.
the cash on hand.
No, yeah,
We're
I'm-
only gonna have 200,000 cash on hand
yeah.
outside of
And we don't know those exact numbers till we get done with this highway project, which it looks like it's going to be wrapping up here pretty quick.
Daryl Bachman.
I think we owe a little over 100, but Jake still owes me numbers, and he owes me a steak dinner too, because I was right and he was wrong.
Do tell.
It was-
What was the bet?
Oh, we still have to pay off, we still have a bunch of expenses out there, like, he was thinking that with his services and what we owe the state, it was gonna be like around $30,000. But it's going to be, we still have to pay off, we have more payments to make than that. It's gonna be closer to $100,000.
110.
I think it's like 80,000 and some.
80, just a little over 80,000 remaining on the project, and then the state just finally sent us our portion of the bill for Highway Phase 1 of the electric side. So that was just over $10,000. We've already paid for Phase 2, but Phase 1, they finally just billed us for, which was by contract the council approved in 2020.
I know what that was for. The plugins.
But, yeah, sewer, the current, he's trending online. We'll see, again, we'll see that the revenues go up a little more than what was projected by the end of the year, because sewer's a reflection of water, so water goes up, sewer goes up. But that's the only thing we have planned for next year is that relining project. And to date, we're about 3/4 of the way done with town with either new PVC.
Unknown caller.
I think I had 70-some phone calls yesterday. It's cleanup week.
Yeah.
Any questions on sewer? I mean, sewer, project-wise, sewer's gonna be tight next year. I had $542,500. That's if we did, a $300,000 manhole, or $300,000 sewer relining project. So we obviously can't afford that. That'll be over what we make in revenues, but,
Jody Brozek.
nice try. You busted yourself.
Yeah.
Have we talked to Philip anymore,
About?
the other truck?
They're interested in ours. Their truck is in dire straits right now.
We may not want to go into too much detail on the camera.
So it's just, it's a time deal for them. Any other questions on sewer?
Let's go ahead and kill it.
I did hear from Ben. That truck might be done before the end of the year. We don't have to take it till the beginning of next year, but
Which truck?
the Vector sewer truck.
The pool's been painted.
It's already been painted? Outstanding.
Nice.
I heard that they're planning on a June 1st open date.
Yeah, that's what it usually is.
Yep.
Do you want us to start advertising that or no? Do we have any dates at all other than that?
Say that again?
Do you have any dates other than that? Just June 1st?
For the pool. For the pool.
To
Oh,
open.
no. I know Catherine is back in town. I saw her, I think her graduation's first week in May. So when she gets back and she gets her lifeguards, I don't know if she's heard back from Gregory yet on the certification process for the guards. That's the date we have to get confirmed, and then we'll probably start filling the pool here.
Yeah, we'll
Soon as-
sit down and clean it out again.
Yeah. The painting is complete, it looks great. Pool looks really good. They did a good job. We had a lot of, we were starting to see some pretty good cracks and caulking and stuff that was coming out, and they cut out some pieces around a patch that was done years ago. They fixed that. It looks really good. Pool looks really good, so we're ready to go there. Yeah, we just need to do some minor cleaning, and then we can fill that and let the sun warm it up. But as soon as Catherine calls me and she's back, we'll get, the other thing that always is state track. I don't know how many guards that we have this year that are, and then our guards that are coming back from college, if they want to go to work right away, that's always, but we got to get our guards figured out, and then we'll have an opening date. Public health, I guess. We're sending the sprayer to Pier tomorrow, and two guys today. They're going to Pier. They left this morning. 2 guys are going to training, and we're getting our machine calibrated. It could be a mosquito season with all the water we got sitting around. It's supposed to rain again this weekend, so we're getting ready for that. I think the only equipment really that we're looking at, I guess I could mention that quick. The one piece of equipment that we're looking at for the city for next year, for 2025, is a sweeper. Our current sweeper is just,
Not up to it.
it's not living.
It hasn't met expectations since the day we took ownership of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it struggles with the sand. So we have Titan Machinery is they're bringing a sweeper to town that's
Demo?
it's a demo model. They want to,
Asking for me to keep the demo for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
A
year,
year.
we'd like to demo it from April through September, right?
I'd really like to demo it right now, because all that rain we had washed everything down to the highway, and we're well aware that the highway does not look good right now. But it just happened to coincide with cleanup week, and cleanup week's gonna take precedence over getting the highway cleaned up. But I just told Kelly yesterday, probably tomorrow, myself, Kelly, and then we're gonna grab we'll do the same process we did last fall. We're gonna get the air compressor out. We're gonna blow the sand off all the sidewalks, get it out of the gutter, run the sweeper right behind us, and we'll get the highway cleaned up before the end of the week. But yeah, we know it does not look good right now, but we only have so much personnel, so. But yeah, the sweeper's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that sand, it just kind of smears it. It doesn't pick it up, and so we need something that'll do a better job with sand. This one is a Pelican, the one, and I was told it was before my time, because we've had the sweeper for like 9 years, 10 years,
It's probably been about 9.
because I know they had it when I started. But the one they had
Before me.
before that, they said did a really good job.
It did.
That last one was, ask Billy about it.
Yeah.
What,
It
I
didn't pick
don't,
up anything.
It is the same thing, good Pelican. Built-in Pelican.
and I think the one that they're bringing to demo, the guy said that the only thing that, it'll pick up anything, but he said the only thing it really struggles with is leaves. He said you gotta go over multiple times to get leaves. And we really don't have a leaf issue in winter, I mean, that I've seen, but the
Just in
sand
the
is.
fall.
Was this one a vacuum?
No.
No, the one that he's gonna bring down is not gonna be a vacuum, but we'd also like to demo one that's a vacuum. They make one that it's got the gutter brooms, it's got a broom out front that loosens it up. It just kind of breaks up like anything that's hard packed, and then it's a vacuum, and it works completely on vacuum. But we definitely want to get something that is gonna work in winter on the sand. And
The pictures for the Pelican look like the old one.
And I would reach out to Billy too. Give you one of the insight on
The new one that, or the one they're bringing to the demo, it starts, it's like it's, SCH. I got the deal laying on my desk. It's Schlager or something like that is the name of it. It's another popular sweeper company, but, that's all I got.
Sounds good.